Good evening and a very warm welcome to everybody to the April Tech Talk Tuesday for Teachers. Once again, thank you so very much for the resounding response that we get each week, and you encourage us to come back to this room to meet you. My name is Minakshi Oberoi, and I will be hosting the session today alongside Duhita Parmar, who is here with me, and I'll ask her to come and say hello to you so that we know that we are two people here, one presenting, other one managing, and anything that you want to say, even if your mics are off, you have the chat window. Please do share. We would love to hear your voices, your thoughts, your, do react, do whatever you want. It's your session. And yes, we are here. We're starting, kicking off April today. Duhita, please go ahead, say hello, or introduce yourself. Okay. Just a second. Let me just turn Duita into us. Unfortunately, I forgot to turn her into a presenter. There you go, Duita. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Mm. Thank you so much, Meenakshi ma'am. No need. We understand. Good evening, everyone. And yes, today is April 1st, and a new session, a new month begins over here with lots of energy. Trust us, the sessions are going to be really good ones and which are going to be fruitful during our teaching, learning, and adding on to our. Plus, do not forget to earn your certificates as well because each steps adds on to our own thing, which is really important, right? Please feel free to share any doubts, anything that you need to ask in the chat window. I'll be there to look into it and be there for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Duita ma'am. And I just cannot contain myself. I have to share this with you. I know there are many people who are still joining in, and I want to create the context for today's session. So, the title that we have today is Navigating Ethics in Education. I think every school has a set of formal or informal rules. In fact, every family, every society, every group of people, or even as an individual, we do have certain rules that we follow for ourselves. And these rules are designed to protect and enhance everyone's experience around you. And therefore, a set of rules in school for students, faculty, and staff are made to better the educational experiences and are often based on very common sense and good practices. And behind every common sense rule, there's a more complicated story about ethics in education, decision making, and leadership. So, today we are here to talk about how to navigate this amazing path of ethics in education. But this is not what I could not contain to myself, and I have to share it with you. What I have to share it with you is this. This is huge, humongous. I would really appreciate if you can give me all your attention as we share this with you. Here you go. Drum rolls, please. Here's Mr. Satya Nadella, and here's a quote from Mr. Satya Nadella for the pedagogics. He says that at Microsoft we recognize innovation when we see it. That's why I can confidently say that Deep Pedagogics isn't just a global training partner, it's the training partner. Their work in nurturing teachers and transforming classrooms with technology is truly exceptional. Imagine getting a quote from the Satya Nadella himself. It just makes our day, our life, and I think it just fills our heart. We are swelled with the kind of love that we have received and love the hearts and the claps that we are getting in the in as reactions, and I'm absolutely loving it. Thank you so much. You are our partners. You are our people who take us forward. And I say this from the bottom of my heart that without you, we are nothing. So, thank you. Yeah, exactly. This was totally fabricated. This is a fine and the finest example of just going against ethics, using a name that is not just. I know you must be thinking, what is she saying? Yes, it's not true. This is a completely fabricated post. Satya Nadella would not talk about one partner in India just like that. There has to be some credential to it. If someone shares something like that, don't just believe it. This is a breach of ethics at the highest level. And yes, I could get you to believe this. I could get an applaud from many of you. And, thank you for that. But what I'm trying to convey here is please do not take such posts on face value. There are wrong ethical practices that are behind it. Look at us using, I mean, this was just a prank, but this prank included name of one of the most renowned companies, that is Microsoft. We are their global training partners. There's no doubt in that. But look at the language. Now, look at the language to spot how is it that this is fake. They will never write THE in capitals, right? They're not going to shout out to us writing everything in capitals. Number two, they're using our company's language. Nurturing is our word. We say Deep Pedagogics Nurturing Education. Now, as a global training partner, we do have rights to use these slides which have Microsoft's logo, but we have no business misquoting someone who is the chairman and CEO of Microsoft. So, sincere apologies to those who thought that this was not an appropriate one. But I think this is one of the finest examples of unethical use of the privileges that you have. So I just wanted to bring it in here and put it in front of everybody. Do not believe everything that anyone says because we live in a world of deep fakes. Therefore, we are here to talk about navigating ethics in education. Ethics in education is a very broad term that gives learning experiences to everybody. And, it's very fruitful for us if we can grow ethically. So, today will be an endeavor for all of us together to find out ways in which we can grow ethically. We can be considered, we will be considering, multiple ways of expanding the ethical awareness and understanding, motivating behaviors that are ethically right, and also, what are the ways in which we can encourage the entire world around us to act more ethically? Yeah. But before that, I know there are some introductions that have come in. I would love to for you to introduce yourself in the chat window, say your name, your school name and city, and answer this question. If you were to have a signature song for your class that you will play, which one would it be? So my question is that if there was a signature song, for example, in my class, my signature song used to be Cuppy Cake. If you haven't heard it, you have to hear it. So my the song that played all the time in my class was Cuppy Cake. And which is the song, the signature song for your class that you play or you will play if you were given the choice to play one, which one would it be? Go ahead and share that in the chat window. As you do so, I am also going to tell you that we are wrapping up March and therefore we have packed all the sessions here for you in a single post. So if you have missed out any, here's your link. Number one, you can go to this post and please, please, please do share with the world if you have benefited from our sessions. Go ahead, comment, like, or say whatever you want to share with the world that you've been a part of these sessions. Go ahead and use this, please, to share with the world what you have done with us or what you have learned, or if these sessions have benefited. We don't want to be the ones who would want to post on your behalf, and we request you to do so. And I would say if you have missed out any of the sessions, March sessions, catch up the March sessions here. I'm giving you the link here. Catch the math sessions here. Do not miss out on any of the sessions. So we are trying to keep you updated here. Keep your responses coming. Do remember, I'm looking forward to your response on which song would be the signature song that you will play in your class. If you were to choose one song that could play often in your class, which one would it be? Nothing to do with ethics. It's just an icebreaker and a message to say, do play some music in your class. It always helps. Yeah. And as you do so, I'm going to give a huge shout out. Yes, a huge shout out. A huge shout out to Nidhi Sarda ma'am, Sheetal Arora ma'am, Anju Prakash ma'am, Dr. Sanjali Dar, Bernali Ganguly, Guneet Kaur, Anu Kapoor, Anju Bala, Tushara Prabhakaran, Ritu Kalia, Vijendra Singh Rawat, Rosie Chetri, Pooja Sharma, and Lokesh sir. All of you have been fabulous because all of you have not just attended the sessions, you've also earned a certificate for having, done the right score, that is 80%. And the top three, Nidhi Sarda ma'am, Sheetal Arora ma'am, and Anju Prakash ma'am, have earned it for all the sessions. So a huge, 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 huge shout out to all of you. Yeah, this is absolutely fabulous. They have their, sessions. Okay, Sheetal ma'am has shared her song. She said, "Bom bom bom bol." Yes, I know that from Tare Zameen Par. That's a cute song to play in your class, and yes, good way to begin your day. So go ahead and share with everybody what is it that you're going to do, and I'm going to talk about what is it that I'm going to do in today's session. So we are going to understand AI ethics and ethics in general. What are the fundamental conflicts behind AI? And examine the ethics at education, that is a human AI interaction model, and also foster ethics, that is embodied ethics and ethics by design. Now, these are the three major charters that UNESCO has taken up, and I will be sharing a link to this UNESCO document with you so that you have it very handy with you. I'll give you a minute to go ahead and share with us, uh, you know, uh, your response for the song. Which song will you play for your students if you could play a song? Till then, I'm just going to go ahead and one, wait, and two, I'm going to give you after this a word cloud. So, what I'm doing is I am giving you um, what do you mean by the word ethics? So that's your question. And I am launching this in your chat window right now. So go ahead and please check out the question. It's already live. Submit your response and let me know what comes to your mind when I say the word ethics. What comes to your mind when I say the word ethics? Go ahead and share it, please, in the chat window. We are waiting. You will see a poll that would have popped up. No names are being recorded, but the results are being shared alongside as you type. I request each one of you to tell me the word that comes to your mind, or what is it that you hear when I say ethics. Awesome. So in the meanwhile, I have some responses. Moral values. Great. I'm just going to put it as a response for you here. Okay. Values and norms. Very good. Okay. Aparna ma'am has given her song. You can count on me like one, two, three. I'll be there by Bruno Mars. Amazing. I would love to be in your class. Such a beautiful song. Okay. Sanjali ma'am says integrity, responsibility, and honesty. Fantastic. Go for it. Rachita ma'am says honesty. Fabulous. Keep your responses coming. Our word cloud is getting richer. Jyoti ma'am says principles. Awesome. There you go. I am putting all these words here. So okay, Sanjali ma'am, you've shared a song. I'm so sorry, I think I missed it. Okay. आओ तुम्हें चांद पे ले जाए. Oh, you are here with Sunita Williams. Nice. I like that. Okay. I also have Saravani ma'am, another regular one over here. Moral principles, accountability, integrity, and principles. Fantastic. Okay, Anupama ma'am, thank you. Ideas, Jyoti ma'am gives us another word. Um, oh, Poonam ma'am says, give me some sunshine. I really want to sing that. Give me some rain. Such a beautiful one, isn't it? Well, keep them coming and look at our word cloud. You know, the richest word or the big word that I see over here, moral values. I'm sure you've seen it too. Keep your responses coming. And when we say ethics, there are so many words that just are spilled in front of us. Here are some of the words, and I'm sure you'll find them here. If you don't, then good, you are enriching our word cloud. Ethics or ethical values or practices in education are critical to success. And by promoting all these values or morals, Ethics in education helps to ensure that our education system are serving in the best interest of students and society both. And maintaining this integrity and fostering this trust and confidence is our job. And by applying ethics in education, I think that the entire institution brings together an essence of belongingness, and it just helps to create a very safe, supportive, and ethical environment for everyone on campus. Well, here's the definition by UNESCO. UNESCO says about ethics of AI. From education, I'm moving to AI. The aspect of ethics of AI represents students' ethical value, judgments, embodied reflections, and social and emotional skills to navigate, understand, practice, and contribute to the adaptation of a growing set of principles and regulatory rules on human behaviors throughout the entire life cycle of AI system. Well, that is huge. And also, what this talks about is they are also expected to understand and apply knowledge on the governance of ethics of the intersection of global implications and local context. Now, for students, this is a huge ask. They can only do this if we are able to support them in moving here or moving closer towards this goal. But let's talk, let's take a step back before we deep dive into ethical AI or we think about ethical AI. I think what we need to do is think about digital ethics. But how do we know, what is the right thing? The philosophical answer point to would be, the code of conduct, the way you govern, the way you are, looking at your culture, the way your beliefs are. That is what would be, ethics. But I think ethics is much more than that. Digital ethics are the branch of ethics that concern a set of rules or guidelines or moral guidelines that will govern the interpersonal behavior between an individual or a company, which means whether it could be a technology company or any kind of an agent or any kind of a person sitting next to you, either inside a company or broadly in market or society as to how you behave. It really depends. For example, the doctors, the lawyers, the religious communities have a set of tenets that dictate the behavior that are acceptable or not acceptable. And they prescribe various types of punishments for deviating from these codes. However, such codes do not always exist in our, institutional lives. We do not really believe in black and white because there are a number of gray areas where you 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 allow the students to grow in their capacity of being more ethical. And when it comes to technology, I think these codes are often out of date because technology transforms each day. You'll be surprised to know that the UNESCO survey shows less than 10% of schools and unis had institutional policies or formal guidance for the use of generative AI. And the absence of such guidance means a greater risk of privacy breaches, uneven disciplinary actions, and ineffective implementations. So, if you feel you are in the 10% who already have an ethical guidance, tell me something. Are you an educational ethicist or do you know of one? Well, you would basically hear a chorus saying, huh? What is even that? Is that really a term? Well, on the other hand, if you were to ask, do you research or write about values and morals and principles in education? Or do you think carefully about ethical dimensions of the work of education? Tons of people would say, absolutely. That's central to my work. Even though, many people care about ethical dimensions of education, uh, between policies and practices, there are very few who are working directly on them, upgrading them, updating them, making them available to everybody, reflecting upon them, addressing the ethical issues that appear. And, I don't know of any major agency that can actually, give you guidance on apart from UNESCO or, the government policies. Is there any school here in this forum which actually has educational guidelines and has educational ethicists in their group? If yes, please say yes in the chat window. I would love to gain the confidence that we also have schools amongst that 10%. And what I'm trying to do over here through this session is I'm just trying to change that. I'm just trying to help you understand that yes, you must go back to your school to see if there are any ethical policies. Oh, Prana ma'am, this is absolutely, Rachita ma'am, this is absolutely, I think, confidence gaining to say we have the 10% schools, some of the schools here who belong to that 10%. And we look forward to your leadership, all the four of you, Rachita ma'am, Anupama ma'am, Sanjali ma'am, Prana ma'am, all four of you, to actually lead us in this direction. We need number of ethicists here to help us, to guide us move forward. So, let me take the first step towards it. Here's the situation. You know, in today's digital world, students have access to AI powered tools. So, a student presented and submits an AI generated project without proper attributions. What will you call it? Is this plagiarism? How should the teacher respond? And what digital ethic principles apply here? You know, this is a situation. What will you as a teacher do if a student presented and submits, and I know this is an everyday problem in your life, but what do you do about it? What do you call it? Do you call it plagiarism? Do you call it, it's all right, let's just move on? Um, how should the teacher respond? What digital ethic principles apply here? I would love to hear your responses in the chat window. And I have many scenarios coming in. So keep the fingers very handy so that you can type a response very quickly. And these are some of the scenarios that have been shared with us when we go and meet teachers. We don't have solutions to offer, but we do have discussion forums where we together come up with certain ways of, dealing with certain situations. So I'm not getting a response, but in the interest of time, I'm going to give mine. To me, there are things that come on top of my mind. It is essential to uphold academic integrity by teaching students the importance of proper attribution, originality, and responsible use of AI. Plagiarism, whether AI or traditional sources, you don't have to really wait for AI. I've always said ethics is not something that you're going to start teaching now. I think as the students enter this school, we start teaching them certain norms, certain ways and values and morals and all those words that you had written over there, certain rules, ways of conduct. All of those belong to ethics, and they also apply in the same way in the world of AI or technology as well. So while they are in an online, scenario, the same things apply. You as educators must establish very clear guidelines on ethical use of AI. Please don't shy away. Go tomorrow into your classrooms, talk to your students about, you can do idea generation, but you must ensure that the work, what you are submitting to me, should be your own work with your words. Your personal effort and understanding is what your work must reflect. Schools should foster discussion on digital responsibility so that students make informed ethical choices. And when engaging with technology, I think making mindful decisions is something that is most important. So I would take that away from this situation. I'll give you another one. Here's about a teacher. Interesting, right? Well, a teacher records a student discussion and posts it on social media without consent. But teachers post on Facebook all the time with their students, anecdotes, with their students say, hey, you know what this one said. Hey, that one said, and look what happened in my class. And that there is a sense of pride. Now, this is number one, a violation of digital ethics. Two, good classroom documentation. Three, harmless if no names are mentioned. D, acceptable if students were in public setting. Go ahead and give me your response in the chat window. Go ahead and give me your response in the chat window. Take some time, read it carefully so that you know what the question is and you're able to give me a response accordingly. A, I think you said, okay. Let me do something. Let me give you this in the chat window so that you only have to type the. Okay, let me just take this. I'll just create a poll very quickly and give you. Okay. I'm getting some responses. Okay. Read it carefully. It's all right for you to take time. Okay. I'm still waiting. And I've launched the poll as well in the chat window. You can take a look at it. Okay. The most common responses that I'm getting. Oh, most of you have said A. Fantastic. Okay. I will take A as your response. I'm getting in the chat window also. A is 100% response, I believe. Okay. I will take that in the interest of time. You can keep responding. Let's see if it changes. Well, absence or lack of awareness about ethical guidelines in AI, data privacy, and digital citizenship is what I will call it. It is all of the above almost, because what is happening here is it is a violation of digital ethics. It is good classroom documentation, but it should have stayed within classroom because we do not have the permissions to share it publicly. Harmless if no names are mentioned. No, there is facial recognition. You have shared an image which has faces of students, and facial recognition will enable identification. Number three, harmless if no names are mentioned. Nope. Names are not the only thing that are a part of privacy. Fourth, acceptable if students were in public setting. Nope, still not okay. Yeah. So what we are saying is all of the above. This is a perfect example of absence of or lack of awareness, which means that we need to have ethical guidelines around all of this. So today, whatever's your takeaway, take it back to your school, give it a thought, and collectively put your heads together to formulate some kind of guidelines around this. Okay, here's the last one and the sixth one. A scenario for the school. A school requests parents to sign a consent form before using AI powered learning tools. What will this ensure? A bureaucratic delay, transparency and informed decision making, unnecessary paperwork, and that AI tools won't be effective. Okay, what is the correct answer? The answers have started pouring in. I have two responses here saying transparency and informed decision making. Absolutely, 100%. There you go. Didn't we just get there? Well, we did, and in such a beautiful way, isn't it? That is the right way to move forward. So, ethics in educational leadership is understanding the rules, understanding how your actions affect others, people, and the system as a whole. We think of ethics in education as the codification of morality. So it's what we have decided institutionally or socially that are the rules that we are all going to follow. That becomes our ethical framework or ethical code, as you call it. Now, within this framework, we follow our own moral compasses. As our world is becoming, increasingly reliant on digital products for life and for work, let this be your starting point for reflections and for conversations going back into school on topics like digital ethics. And I'm sure today all of you will be able to go back to strike a conversation. And I place this responsibility on your shoulders to let it be an inspiration to build in ethical considerations throughout the process of technology usage at your end. Not just technology, but outside as well. Well, we found intelligent life, but we are yet to find an ethical life. So help us find an ethical life. And we have agencies like UNESCO who are here to guide us. Here's a beautiful way that UNESCO has tried explaining us machine centrism versus human centrism. And you can go ahead and, take a look at this. I'm going to share the link for this in some time, and you can grab that and go ahead, go back to your schools to have a conversation around this. Another thing, have another conversations. Ethics in education encompasses moral principles, values, and standards that guide the behavior of all stakeholders. All. Don't just engage students and teachers. Within an institution, you will have teachers, administrators, students, staff, parents, society, people around you, everybody from your support staff to your drivers to your plumbers to your electricians, everybody, and tell them that you're aiming for a fair, just, and responsible learning environment. What is it that you can do? You can actually be teaching ethics in education so that everybody's on the same platform, so that it develops a very solid moral compass that guides everybody, not just within the school or institution, but throughout the lives and success journeys. So teaching ethics not just help them make a good decision, but also I think stands up for the belief and the words that you had used helps them being honest, being fair in their dealings with others. And we are actually brewing up that society today. So the digital citizenship education ensures many things. Number one, security. Number two, ethics. Number three, privacy. Number four, communication and veracity. Now, digital citizenship education, it is important, especially for young people. Not just them, actually us as well, because we are not digital natives, right? So it forms a critical individual who are able to deal with the challenges and the opportunities that we get with the usage of these modern tools. Yeah, security just helps us look at the help them prevent and recognize risks. For example, phishing, identity theft, online scams. Don't just leave it to the ICT teachers to teach. Everybody is a digital teacher these days, right? Therefore it is important that we do engage in these conversations, and we are all doing this in the best interest of children. Absolutely. There is no other thing at heart but children. Here's another one for you. No, actually, I'm going to skip this. I'll keep this for your test. Okay. So now that you know what your next question is, okay, how should I be? How should I act? What is my responsibility? Well, it's not always obvious how the idea of ethics should merge or emerge with the broad concept of digital technology, especially when the word ethics brings into mind the whole field of academia, rooted in ideas that is brought forward to us. It's not easy. And what I've come to realize is an understanding that the importance of digital ethics increases with a number of examples of ethical dilemmas. Now, right now, I presented to you some ethical dilemmas. This boosts your willingness to engage in a conversation. And I'm sure all of you are now ready to engage in this conversation. Yeah? Here's another picture. Think about it. Take a look at it. This you see over here, you know who this is? This is Pope Francis. But this is an AI generated image. Now, a fake image of Pope Francis generated by AI is on the left and the real is on the right. Now, it is for you to see how are you going to tell your children to identify what is fake and what is real. Deep fakes. They don't just target celebrities, they're everywhere and they're all around you. Here you go. Well, look at this image. Deep fakes, voice cloning, everything. Imagine a penguin in a desert. What are we even talking about, right? So, towards teaching in ethics in education, I have these five major pieces that I've almost picked up from the words that you had thrown, and we matched there. Honesty and integrity. I think upholding academic honesty, like I said in the beginning of the session as well, and integrity in all aspects of teaching and learning and in life is very important. They should not just leave it in school, they have to carry it with them throughout life. Fairness and justice. I think equitable treatment and opportunity for all is one of the pieces that you must teach your students as well, regardless of the ability or the background that one comes from. Fairness and justice is what stands neutral. Respect and empathy. I think treating all individuals, why individuals, all beings, all non living things as well, with respect and empathy. I remember our teachers used to give us a very simple example in the sports field. When you're walking lazily, I think you would just kick a kind of a small stone and, it'll move from one place to another. And I remember my sports teacher pausing us to say, what if that were you? What if I were to kick you from one place to another? Would you like it? No, you wouldn't, right? Now, that's a very simple example. What if I just took an image over here and I made Pope Francis wear this really nice coat, and I'm trying to be very innovative here. But what about the respect? Am I respecting him by doing that? Did I ask? Did I take permission? No, I did not. Therefore, it's not ethical. And therefore, I need to bring in that empathy factor along with respect so that they understand and we foster a sense of community and belongingness within them. Confidentiality is, I have a secret and I don't want to tell you, but everybody wants to know. Oh, goodness, that's such a big deal, right? Well, protecting the privacy and confidentiality is something that we must teach our students, have some exercises with them to do in the class. The personal information sharing is something that is, I think, should be done on a very regular basis. Simply just, I used to do this in my class, and I used to just have a secret, and I used to tell every every week I used to tell three children a secret, and I wanted to see how far will it travel. And believe you me, when I used to use the same phrase, I used to give them a phrase. I never told them a secret or whatever, but I used to give them a phrase that this is your secret phrase for the week. Okay. Let's see how long can you keep it with yourself or are you going to share it? Invariably, you had students who would share it. And the minute I would mention it, there were these smiles and smugs and there were these exchange of glances, and I knew this was happening. Now, this was physical, environment. When it is a digital environment, you cannot see anything there, but practicing things like this helps them resist telling, helps them build that practice of maintaining privacy, helps them understand the need to save that personal information, keep the personal information personal. So have these drills and exercises in your class. The least responsibility. You have to take ownership of your actions. So if you know that something is copied, and I think someone wrote in the chat window also, yeah, plagiarism is an issue. Well, then say it. Put it in the face. That is in the best interest of the child. That you tell them that I know this has been lifted and this does not belong to you. Well, the minute you put it out there, they realize that I think if they know, I need to take ownership of my actions and decisions. And I think holding oneself accountable for upholding ethical standards is one of the biggest job that you can do with your students. Well, I can sit here to give you many examples, but I think there have to be certain guidelines. Microsoft lays a lot of importance on responsible AI principles. You can take help from this, and the document, if you've not accessed it till now, please go ahead and access the Microsoft Education AI Toolkit. It's one of the best pieces that Microsoft could offer. And you will find these, what I'm sharing with you right now on the screen. This is a page from the Microsoft AI guide. And it is important to consider responsible AI principles when implementing AI in education to ensure that these technologies are used responsibly, safely, and in the ways that will enhance educational opportunities for students. While we are preparing them for this future, the future is something that is unknown to you and us, and therefore, responsible AI principles are something that you could practice in your school. These are some of the principles that Microsoft offers. You can build on them. You have to take these as your foundational principles and then build on them. And, I've highlighted over here must share responsibility. And I'm going to re-emphasize and say, please don't leave it only on ICT teachers. To successfully implement responsible AI, all of us should be responsible and we must work together and have a shared responsibility and shared ownership towards implementing these principles. Practical steps for education leaders. Translating these guidelines and frameworks into actionable steps is one of the central challenge for any institution. But what you can do is you can think about many things. For example, revise your policies to address these Gen AI. I'm sure your policies, you have policies in your schools, like you said, about ethics in education or even towards technology. Yeah, while technology usage. And if you don't have, please pause to draft them today. And if you're still thinking about it, you could actually go to Copilot, submit your existing policy, and ask Copilot to help you devise or design the new policy. That's one of the ways that I would do, and I'm just going to give you an opportunity to try that. Also, incorporate AI into teaching learning. Set guidelines for responsible usage so that even in lesson planning or content creation, all of us need it. It's not just for students; it's for us as well. And establish monitoring evaluation standards of AI content. Create a plan to monitor and assess the use of AI. I'm going to invite all of you to go ahead and try this prompt on Copilot so that you know how to take Copilot's help. And you know, this prompt is also available within um, the Microsoft AI Toolkit. Okay. Microsoft Education AI Toolkit, it's available, and you could actually go ahead and try this. As a leader in a medium sized education institution, such as a provost or a superintendent, you are tasked with preparing your institution for implementing implementation of Gen AI. Draft a 10-step plan for integrating Gen AI in education institution. Focus on policy updates. Do you understand? We're not focusing on integrating it in teaching learning or bringing it to students. We are focusing on policy updates, implementation strategies, and evaluation methods to ensure smooth transition. If you try prompts like this, you will get a complete step-by-step process which can really help you and go a long way in helping you. Try this prompt and come back next time to tell us if it really helped. So what you need to do is you need to start now. Your students and staff are likely to use AI already. I'm sure they are. And you need to create some initial policies. We are here to deep dive with you. So at the Pedagogics, we engage in deep dive sessions, brainstorming sessions about developing policies, procedures, the way you want to integrate and adopt AI in your school. We are currently doing that with multiple schools, and we meet each month after that. So, initially, what we do is we sit down with you for a day to identify the key areas or the critical questions that you have. We try and make an answer, or we try and provide answers for that or guidance on that, and then establish, what are the needs for the policy? What is it that you can do? So, we have a deep dive session with all the teachers, followed by core team, and once we've had those sessions, we then meet you on a monthly basis. So the monthly meetings that we have are at no cost, and we engage in these conversations with you to see how can we help you go deeper and wider in these conversations. Here's a quote. Students are increasingly the target of cyber attacks aimed at assessing, students' data. Consequently, school leaders are dedicating more thought, resources, and funding to protect user data, and that is extremely important. Student privacy is one of our biggest concerns, especially when it comes to AI tools. We are committed to vetting any tool before it's introduced to our school to make sure that we know how our data is used and that ultimately it's safe and protected. Well, I'm not sure how many of you have, taken the trend of the image making, that dribble image making. But if you have, today only, I think I read somewhere that the Ghibli is what you're talking about, right? The Studio Ghibli is what I'm talking about. So today only I read where OpenAI has requested people to please take a chill on creating these images because it takes a toll on the employees and they have to work extra hours to actually deal with these new kind of, trends that come up. So this is basically a Japanese animation studio that has come up, and it has a strong presence in the animation industry. And this has taken the world by storm, and I think everybody is trying. So if you're uploading your images on Chat GPT or Grok 3 for the Ghibli style AI images, well, here's a warning. There are no privacy rights that are being defined right now. I think everybody is trying to falling prey to this amazing artwork. But I don't think digital privacy is something that you must consider. There are thousands of images that have come up on the web, but I think it's raising serious privacy concerns. And if anybody sends you one, don't shy away from, subtly telling them, hey, listen, I hope you've not uploaded your, personal images out there. Under GDPR regulations, OpenAI has to justify use of those images. But this really doesn't mean that you will share your personal images out there. So we need to tell the world what it is. Okay, let's play a game. When it gets too serious, I like breaking into a game. Let's play this game. Everybody, all attention. Here are two truths and a lie. Identify. Two truths and a lie. This is a student's project about Taj Mahal. Go ahead. Two truths and a lie. Which one is a lie? In front of you is a project on Taj Mahal from a student. You need to identify two truths or a lie. Number two is a lie. Okay, more. Number two is a lie. Okay, more. Everybody feels number two is a lie. All right. Here you go. Uh, Actually, number three is a lie. It did not take 50 years to complete. Taj Mahal took lesser years to complete. It did not take 50 years. You know what? It's very difficult. And I don't blame anybody, how many times can we actually be very confident about the data? So as I'm talking to you, I've just looked up. Actually, Taj Mahal took about approximately 22 years. So yeah, it did not get made in front of me. I'm not a history student who would go core into core details. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put some things in front of you to say, look, it's and Sanjali, shout out to you because you said the third one. So, but here you go, these are some of the facts that just pop up and they've just copied from somewhere. Some made up data has come in front of you. You would, just simply say, I think this is something that I can let go because I think must be true only. I'm not sure how many years it took, but it's very important for us to pause, answer, play this game with your students. Ask them to identify two truths and a lie. Maybe all three were true for all I knew, right? Go ahead and play this game. At least you're giving them an experience to identify and to reflect and giving them a path towards truthfulness. That's very important. These large language models are trained to generate human like text, which is not true text. Nothing indicates truthfulness in large language models. Please note this is the problem. We take everything on face value. Anything that ChatGPT says, must be true only. Anything that Copilot says, I'm sure it's true, huh? Anything that Grok says, anything that Gemini says, Claude says, any of the models that you take, I would say. We need to ground them in reality so that they don't make stuff up. In fact, we know everything to solve this. You know, what our students do when I tell them to do, and I'm giving you this another one as a fact. When I tell them two truths and a lie, they'll take an image of what I've just shown you, put it on ChatGPT and say, identify two truths and a lie. And it'll identify and give you. You are cross fighting within models. But what you're forgetting is it's still LLM. It is a large language models, which has not been trained enough and it will not give you true text. So include relevant knowledge in context of element. Okay. These elements really, really need you. Now, the question is, how can we as teachers help all of this? Yeah. First of all, as open as this is again, these are some of the strategies offered by UNESCO. So take a good look at it. The first one says, as open as possible for algorithms and publicly purposed data, and as closed as necessary for privacy, IP, and especially student data. So open source foundation models. DeepSeek, not sure. Okay. So whenever you are talking about anything, I would take this into my classroom to say, have as open as a conversation about a piece as possible and have as close it as closely as you can. Okay. Privacy enhancing technology, PETs, trusted data, intermediaries, that is TDIs, safe AI models is what they must use. GDPRs for the privacy compliance, uh, CPRs. Then also we have Indian codes which offer privacy models. So please, please, please look for these things. When they say accept all cookies, do not accept all cookies. I've said this enough number of times, but at the cost of repeating myself, I will repeat myself to say, please make your students aware, reject all as far as possible, or accept only the ones that are necessary. Okay. Affordable creation and uses of specialized AI models for education institutions, startups, small and medium sized enterprise. Regulations and validation mechanisms are important. Human accountability, I would put this on top. Trust and transparency in AI assisted formative assessment and accreditation. The first question that you must ask them is, when I use your software, which cloud will the data lie? Number one, is it a trusted cloud? The trusted cloud, if you're a Microsoft Showcase school or a Microsoft school, Azure is your cloud and it should be in Microsoft Cloud. If not, if they are using, even if they say it's going to be Microsoft Cloud, it's going to be their Microsoft Cloud, not yours. So please know, even if they have the cover, it's an external cloud, not your school cloud. Yeah. So it's like storing something. If you're staying in a townhouse, so you're storing something in your neighbor's house, but then because it's in a safe locality and area, it's safer, but not safe. Yeah. There's a difference there. Okay. What can I do? Number one, help learners gain skills. That is most important. Learners, I say, not students. Everybody in your, vicinity, whether it is at home, at school, in your neighborhood, wherever you can, please go ahead and allows to people to gain these skills. Fact checking, most important. I just did that for you, right? Cultivating good digital habits, safeguarding their data privacy, adopting strategies to manage their mental well-being. It's very important. Don't just get influenced for everything. Like I said, if someone sends you a trend, just say, hey, I hope you're doing this in a safe manner. Yeah. Here's something that I would do going back from today. Number one, strike a conversation in my school about ethics in education. Restrike if I have to, or reignite the thought if I have to. And here, also have a classroom agreement. I am a firm believer of classroom agreement. Once your students have said something, they normally adhere to it. So establish an agreement, set very clear expectations from schools with students on the safe and responsible use of not just Gen AI tools, but technology in general. Don't wait for IT teachers to do that or class teachers to do that. I think every teacher needs to do it for their own subject as well. Here's a sample of the classroom agreement. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a link in the chat window. You could go through this document, and there's a beautiful on Microsoft Learn, there's a beautiful piece that is available for you to refer to. You can go ahead and refer to that. If I'm not able to fetch it right now, I will come back to you with it. I should have it though. But if you are doing a course on Microsoft Learn, you will be able to find this. And as you are going through the rest of the things, I'm going to go ahead and find this for you. Okay. I don't think I have that handy with me right now. I had it, but I don't have it. Just give me a minute. If I can fetch it, I will for you very quickly. This is about, the way you can use establish these rules in your classroom. It's very important. I will give you this page. I found it. Here you go. This is also something that I will encourage you to do so within your class as you go back. There you go. Unlocking generative AI safely and responsibility toolkit. It's available to you in the chat window. Go ahead and take it. So what is it that you want to do in this complex and interconnected world? I think what we need to do is we need to increasingly recognize the importance of fostering this ethical culture within our workplace and even our homes. An ethical culture not only promotes integrity and trust, but also ensures that everyone is on board. They understand and adhere to these principles and practices. And to achieve this, I think you as an organization, you as a society need to come together, invest time, invest thinking in building a robust framework for ethical education and equip everyone with the knowledge, skills, tools that are there, navigate through ethical dilemmas, and allow them to practice making sound decisions. So, first thing first, what we do is when we engage with you, we help you establish clear ethical values. Number two, we develop strong foundation and code of conduct. And if you already have all of that, we make you rethink on what you already have. We encourage open communication. We discuss dilemmas. We evaluate scenarios. Today, I've just given you a peek into what we do. What we do is much more. Then we make them read a lot of ethical practices, multiple examples, and we ask them to share what is it that you will take away from here. Of course, training and awareness is a part of it. So if there are certain pieces that come out which we feel that either in or these dilemmas or in these ethical practices that we share, we feel you need more training on it, we deep dive, pause to say, hey, keep aside 1 hour, probably 2 weeks from now, and let's talk about this. Yeah. And then what we do is we expect you to lead by example and engage in debates. We offer you certain ways in which you can engage in these debates, and we encourage these talks within your organization. So we help you make those calendars and decide what is it that you could do as a very practical way of bringing that in. I know it becomes like an additional work in your school. That's why we say when you bring us in, we help you move around and think around and help you redefine your core mission and vision statements so that they align with the action and decisions that you're taking, and you're able to share with the world every year. Now that it's 1st of April, well, not for April Fool reason, but for other reasons as well. You're starting a new academic year, and if you're doing that, this is the time to bring in the awareness. Tell the world we are thinking about it. We are continuously improving. We are continuously evaluating, redefining the way we want to work, and we're reinforcing ethical behavior. How many schools talk about this in their parent engagement programs? Please shout it out. Put any advertisement that you put in newspapers for admissions to say we are ethical decision makers and we are brooding citizens of tomorrow. We're protecting, them from the world and cultivating a whole society that upholds integrity and contributes to a more ethical society as a whole, rather than just individuals. I don't think I can, impress more upon it. But here you go. Here's your course on Microsoft Learn that you could do to Dvita, please feel free to jump in anytime to say, I think we need to do this. But here's your Microsoft Learn course. I've given you must do this course, please. The next one that I'm giving you right now is the UNESCO competency framework as a so must take a look at it. And here's the scan QR code and take it with you. So this is something that you could form as a base. It's by an agency that we all very much believe in, and it's a good piece for you to take away. And what I'm also going to share with you, I'm just keeping the screen on for some time so that you take a good look at this. And I think I'm going to encourage you a lot because you saw, what we've done in today's test is we have incorporated a lot of questions, a lot of scenarios for you to evaluate. Think about it. Go and attempt that, test. It's a good way to check, am I still right or am I still need to have a knowledge check and probably make a correction in my thinking? So go ahead and take a test today. Once you have taken the test, you must score 80%. Once you have scored that 80%, you have to pay a nominal fee of rupees 200 to earn the certificate. And at the beginning of the session, we gave a huge shout out to our educators who have in the month of March successfully cleared these tests and earned their certificates. Once again, a huge shout out to all of you before I move onwards. Yes, these are our certificate earners for the month of March. We look forward to taking you there so that you can actually go ahead and earn your micro credential. All these certificates count towards your 50 hours of learning, and many schools have given their teachers the choice to this up and take this test, and they will go ahead and recognize this as your learning hour. Here you go. The link to today's test is what I have given in the chat window. So take a test here. And a very important announcement I have to make. One, you can take a test here, and we're giving the QR code also in the chat window, just in case you're not able to take the QR code with you. You can take it, and even if you're watching a recording, you can go ahead take a test. It's there in all the recordings, and once we have received a message from you, we will issue your certificate. Now, the very important announcement that I want to make before you start taking a test, I'm going to come back here, is that we are hosting a connect call on 5th of April. Extremely important for you to please attend this call if you are interested in our Microsoft school programs, MIT, thing encourage for not just you to know, just people as you can, because there's a answer your school's going back about these programs. We will be taking this call to help you understand and build on a common understanding for what is it that these programs hold. So we will be talking about everything between projects programs, Microsoft in education programs. We will be talking um, about the Adobe School programs and how these are shaping up. So please join us on 5th of April, 4 to 5 p.m. It's a Saturday. We've kept it at 4 to 5 p.m. It's a virtual call. The registration link is given. Link will be sent for you to join once you do register. Yeah, it is April. We last time shared with you calendar of April with you. If you still don't have it, we're sharing it here now on our screen, just coming up. And as it comes up, please go ahead, share it in your school so that anybody who wants to join or who feels they can benefit from these sessions, they can join us. You're most welcome to bring as many people as you want. And let's get social. Um, Follow us on Instagram and YouTube. All our recordings are there on YouTube. We also have other programs like Pedagogy Pods and more. When you come back on 5th, we will talk more about that. I'm not talking more. I'm going to see you next on 8th of April. Definitely not on 5th if you're not joining. I'm going to talk about using GenAI for deeper literacy learning. Very, very important one. Not, of feedback. We thrive on your feedback. And the words that guide me a lot, very candid feedback on the way, we've information, and share with us the ways in which we are to make these sessions successful and more to kindly give us feedback. So we're going to do something here. We're going to play all these things, put them in the chat. Uh, Ahead, take a test. Number three, provide us a feedback, please. Number four, take the calendar, share with as many people as you want, and allow everybody to be a part of these sessions. I can't thank you enough for being here, and all the best for taking the test. And let's see you uh, time on 8th of April, if not 5th of April. Thank you so very much for joining us here today. Have a very wonderful day and a week. Bye-bye.